Okay, we're going to look at the other June 2013 paper 3. This is 3.2. Okay, the first question is going to ask us to create an evidence document. I'm going to skip this for the rest of the exam. Okay, so we're going to prepare a spreadsheet, and again in here in the blurb, okay, we know that we're going to create a chart and create the cost of the diving trips and display all currency to 2 decimal places in dollars. Okay, so using a suitable software package, so in this exam we haven't had to download the information, it will be given to you instead, and we need to open up this CSV file. Okay. Now save this file with your candidate number. And it's very important that you save it as an Excel workbook. Okay, now we're going to insert a new row. Okay, and we're going to enter the title. Merge these cells. Need to format these cells so it is black, 18 point in a sans serif font. Each cell has a grey background colour and a thin black border. Format cells A2 and R2 so they appear in the same format as those in step 5. So I'm just going to copy that. Okay, so we need to enter an E4 formula to calculate the number of trips in April, May and June. And then the total income and then the total expenditure. So this will be a very simple sum function. and it's the same sum function for all involved. And now we need to replicate this into the other quarters. Just double check that they all worked. Okay, now we need to calculate the profit for each month, which is the profit equals income minus expenditure. And we need to do that for each month and each quarter. So that just means you've got to copy it all the way across. And now we need to do the trips, the income and expenditure for the entire year. This would equal add your name to the footer. So and to the right to the footer, automated file name and path. So I'll use the header and tool footers. There's the file and the path. Okay. Okay, now in B9 use a function to display the greatest monthly profit. This is going to be a max function. So, and the first set of numbers I wanted to look at. So the greatest monthly profit. So I want to look in these, and then I want to look in these months, and then these months. Oops. These months, and then these months. Now I want to find the lowest profit, so I'm going to do it very similar, but I'm going to use a min function. And I'm going to do exactly the same, so from those, and then check from those. And now the average profit. And display the average monthly profit. Now, for this one I'm going to use an average function, and I'm going to do exactly the same. apply appropriate formatting to all the rows except row 2. So we'll issue that this. If I format the cells to currency, and we were told it was going to be American dollars. Edit the formula in B11 so that it rounds to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to use a function called round, which takes a particular number, which in this case is the average, comma, and how much am I rounding it to? Well, to no decimal places. I know it's no decimal places because an integer will not have any fractions on it. So we save and print the spreadsheet showing the formula. So I go to my formulas, I show the formulas. I click here because I want to make sure I can see everything. And we need to have it in landscape, and the column headings are displayed and the content is full. If you go to our file, print, we're going to do our page setup. We want it to be landscape. And in our sheet, this time we want to show row and column headings. And now you can see row and headings going across at A, B, C, etc. And it fits on a single page. So in our page setup, we will do fit to one page, and then we'd simply just print off that document. Now the next question, a prints out showing the values, sits on a single page. Okay, so we will go back to our formulas, and this time we want to show our values. Okay, we can see it fits on a single page because we'd already set that up in our page layout, and then we'll just print that off. Okay, using the spreadsheet, update the following data for September. So the income was 45 and expenditure was 42. So as you can see, the spreadsheet has been automatically updated. And again, we just need to print off the spreadsheet. Okay, now produce a vertical bar chart to compare the monthly income for the 12 months. Okay, so April, press Control, there's the income. So May income. Remember to keep the Control key pressed to do this. So, made a mistake. I don't want the subtotals, I just want the actual dates. There are different ways to do this. I'll insert my vertical bar chart. Okay, so fully label your chart but do not display legend, and pull a copy into our evidence document. Well, what we need to do here is just decide which actual chart we want, and we know we don't want the legend involved. And then I could add in my chart title and my axes. Okay, then I need to make a pie chart to compare the number of trips for each quarter. So let's move my out of the way for a second. So seems a bit easier to do. Press the control key again. And this time I'm inserting a pie chart. I want it to be black and white. So that includes a legend to identify each quarter. Now, in which case I can actually tell I've misread the question, because I don't need a for each month, I just need the total for the subquarters, so I should have been doing the subtotals. That's why it pays to read the questions carefully. But you can see down here that my subtotals aren't correct. I'm going to come back and sort that out in a moment. Show the number of trips for each field in the quarter. So the way I do that, I need to add on my data labels. I can see here that 30 is the actual biggest one. That's question 25, I get extract the largest segment, but I'm still left with this problem of my legend to identify each quarter, so I need to come back into here. Okay, so I want to change this from being subtotals. Now there's probably two different ways I could do this. One, I could just come in and go, okay, quarter one, and it'll be updated, which is probably the easiest way to do it. Another way to do it would be to go to my select data, and I'm going to edit this. So in fact, instead of being looking at these 4 different subtotals, I might click on I made a mistake on that. I edit this. I choose these 4 instead. But again, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'd have to write quarters up here. There's different ways to do this, but I think the easiest would be just to rename these quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. I mean, there's different ways to do that. Okay. Also, in this little segments of my pie chart, I might, for example, want to make something a slightly different colour to make it stand out. So, I might want to change to white, for example, but I might say when it prints out, I might not spot the difference between these segments. So I can format the data point, and I might want to put in a pattern fill instead. We'll make sure it's this time. So you can have a bit of a play. You can have a bit of a play with that. Okay, I've already extracted the largest segment, which is a double thing. Okay, and now we need to create the new folder, which is going to lead us on to our HTML work.